Welcome to the Deep Dive. We plunge into stacks of sources to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge and surprising facts for you. Today we're diving into something truly wild. Last to leave their circle wins $500,000. Just picture it. 100 people, each stuck in their own little circle. The rule. Brutally simple. Cross that red line, even barely, and you lose $500,000 instantly. Our source for this is a transcript from the YouTube video that documented this whole high-stakes endurance test.
And right away, what this challenge shows is it's not just physical, absolute constraint like that. It becomes a crucible for the mind. It's an intense look at mental fortitude, how alliances form, break, and the kind of weird psychological pressures that pop up when that much money is just sitting there.
Okay, right, let's unpack this. So, 100 people, 100 circles, $500,000 prize, and the potential time. Weeks, months, maybe even a year. That's an incredible commitment. And what's really interesting you mentioned is these aren't just random folks. The host called them star competitors from other videos. The biggest crossover in MrBeast history, he said. So they already knew the deal. They knew what it takes to win. High bar from the start.
Absolutely. That past experience is, well, it's key to their whole mindset. You could see it on their shirts. The back of every shirt showed the money they'd won and lost in past videos. Take Lannon, for example.
Yeah.
The transcript notes he'd lost $200,000, then $250,000, then $1 million.
Wow.
A $2.5 million private jet, and then another $1 million to the cube.
Good grief.
So yeah, these people are carrying some serious mental baggage, or maybe, a huge drive to finally win it back.
Yeah.
It definitely ramps up the motivation.
You'd think with $500,000 on the line, people would be super, super careful. But those early hours, they saw some pretty surprising eliminations, didn't they? How quick was the first one? Someone named TJ touched the line 30 minutes in.
Just 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's amazing how fast it happened.
And of course, the running gag continued. Chandler didn't get out first.
Right. Always the joke.
Yeah.
But it really shows how even basic stuff becomes risky. We saw Big Justice leave early just because he didn't want to use the porta potty.
Seriously, a porta potty break costs $500,000.
Yep. And then just sleeping. That was a huge challenge. 7 players got eliminated overnight just from accidentally touching the line. Carl woke up, big toe right on the red. Game over.
Wow. The simplest things. But what about the weirder eliminations? I mean, the raisin.
Oh, the raisin story. Yeah, that was something else.
This player didn't just touch the line because of a raisin.
No. The transcript said they then proceeded to caress the circle.
Caress it for a raisin. That's a $500,000 mistake.
It sounds funny, but it just hammers home how unforgiving those rules were.
Yeah.
Zero tolerance for any slip-up.
So, okay, the initial wave passes, people maybe get a bit more settled, but then things change again. Day 3, they bring in the Tower Challenge. The host called it one of the hardest games they'd ever done. What was that about? Building a tower on a block? How did that change things?
Yeah, it added layers big time. First, it was 24 hours of pure endurance. Just keep your tower standing on this little red block, no falling. But then to, quote, spice things up, they brought in dodgeballs.
Dodgeballs. Against the towers.
Exactly. After 24 hours, lights turn red. You get 10 seconds to throw your dodgeball at someone else's tower. If it falls, they're out. It's brilliant, really. It instantly flips the script from just surviving to active aggression. Alliances, enemies.
Yeah.
They formed immediately.
You could feel that shift, right? The tension, people guarding, people whispering, making deals.
Total chaos and strategy mixed together.
And we saw some specific hits. Joey took out Jeremy, Mark went out, but the transcript highlighted Hugo eliminating Rain as the most brutal.
Right. And their argument afterward about cooking versus cleaning the bathroom in some bunker from a previous challenge.
Yeah. It showed that these conflicts, these strategic choices, they had real, personal fallout, lingering resentment.
The perfect example of how quickly things pivot. Individual survival, 1 minute, calculated social maneuvering the next. The game forces it.
Okay, so they survived the Tower Wars. Day 5 arrives, 62 people left. And another twist, hot potato. They split them into 4 quadrants, gave them balls, and a hidden 1-hour timer.
And the difficulty here was all about trust and, well, collective timekeeping. Each quadrant had to somehow track that hour internally, pass the balls, and hope their count was right. The host was openly skeptical. They're not going to get this right. And sure enough, you heard about teams being off by whole minutes in their count.
So it creates doubt, chaos.
Exactly. You're managing the physical passing and this mental game of, are we counting right? Is that team trying to trick us?
And the actual game sounds frantic. Passing balls, people trying to mess up other teams' counts, balls hitting cameras.
People even ran out of their circles in the confusion.
Right. So the yellow quadrant went out first. Then they did a tiebreaker.
Yep, a shorter one. 10-minute timer, just one ball this time.
And that took out the pink team.
But it wasn't just the game itself eliminating people. The intensity, the pressure, 6 more players just stepped on their red lines during all that chaos,
Wow.
including Brett. Remember him? Took his shirt off dramatically right before stepping out.
Yeah. The pressure just boils over. So from team chaos, it switches again. Now it's individual, head-to-head, right, on a balance beam.
Random pairings, pure nerve and balance.
And some really memorable outcomes here.
Yes.
Asma versus Arlene. Arlene wins.
But then celebrates too hard, touches the line like 1.5 seconds later.
And they both get eliminated. You can't script that.
Insane.
Then Gio, the younger guy, versus Nicholas, who was only 12. Gio had that line, cook, saute, deep fry.
Yeah, quite the boast. And he backed it up. Nicholas fell.
And Akira beat Rami in another one. So after all that, 5 days, 90 eliminations. We're down to the top 10. And the host called them Beast veterans. These were the serious players left.
Absolutely. This wasn't just luck. These were proven competitors. Mallory, she'd won a $1 Million Island before. Julia lasted 20 days in the Wilderness Challenge.
Yeah.
Akira won a Lamborghini.
Right.
So this final group, incredibly formidable. Everyone there had a history of performing under immense pressure. The stakes felt even higher now.
And then, maybe the biggest twist yet, the top 10 get to pick the game themselves. To eliminate half of them.
Unprecedented, yeah.
They debated stuff. Rock, paper, scissors, bench press.
Right, they threw out ideas, but they landed on standing on one foot. Longest wins. Simple, right? But then the rules guy steps in.
Patrick, the standards and practices guy, what did he enforce?
Super strict rules. Had to be one leg, no switching legs, no using the other leg for support, no touching anything. It sounds easy standing on one foot. But under that pressure, with those rules, for that much money, it becomes agonizing. It really shows how stakes transform things. Simple physical acts become these epic battles of will.
And the challenge itself. You could feel the quiet intensity, laser-like focus, the transcript said. The host tried to distract them with Feastables snacks.
Yeah, anything to break concentration. But the physical toll was immense. Gabrielle was out fairly quickly, 4.5 minutes. Lost went after 5 hip and ankle problems.
And then the video reviews caught people, Mallory and Julia, tiny touches.
Subtle, but enough. And then Omar and Ronnie, man, they were struggling.
Visibly sweating a pool, calves burning, half an inch off the ground, just pure agony.
It's incredible how hard that simple thing became.
So, after all that, the top 5 emerged. Gio, Noah, Akira, Ronnie, and Allison. Okay, final 5. And now they get another choice, a critical one. Play one last game, winner take all, eliminate the other 4 right now, or go back to pure endurance. Sit in those shrinking circles for potentially days, weeks, or even months.
And the psychology there. Fascinating. Game or endurance, you could see the internal debate, plus external pressure. Remember the host saying something like, the 12-year-old's got to go to school, maybe nudging Allison?
Right. Could be.
That vote fundamentally changed everything. It shifted the dynamic from maybe some cautious waiting
to immediate cutthroat competition. Game on. And the game they chose, paintball. Paintball mayhem. They each got a gun, and the targets were mannequins of themselves.
Right, and each hit on your mannequin shrank your circle. 3 hits, you're out.
They missed a lot at first, right? But learned fast.
Oh, yeah. Then the targeting got strategic. And personal, like Akira getting hit.
Yeah. Ouch.
Brutal. And alliances popped up again, even here, like the agreement to target Allison. But the most dramatic moment, maybe of the whole competition, Akira and Ronnie.
Oh, man, yeah. They just went after each other.
Total stubbornness. Cost each other $500,000. One guy already had a Lambo. The other was playing for his kid.
And then they took each other out. Unbelievable.
They got $10,000 each as consolation, but still. Just shows how pride can override everything.
So that brought it down fast. Top 3, Gio, Noah, Allison. Then Gio hits Allison's mannequin.
Right in the chest.
And then Noah takes Allison out. So it's down to 2. Gio versus Noah. Gio, the youngest, his dad shows up. And Gio's like, no, he's not going easy on Noah.
That final duel was intense. Back and forth, hitting each other's mannequins, tying it up. The circles got incredibly small, maximum shrinkage. The tension was, as the host put it, almost barf-inducing.
Just waiting for that final shot.
It was pure nerve, pure precision at that point.
And then Gio gets it. The winning shot. $500,000. The celebration with his dad there, it was pretty emotional. You saw his journey. The host noted he was always standing out, just never gave up.
Hmm.
What a journey for Geo, from being one of 100 to the last one standing. It's a really impressive resilience.
It really is. And what this whole deep dive shows, I think, is that these aren't just silly games. They're like extreme psychological experiments. They strip things down and show you raw human resilience, how people think strategically under insane pressure, and just that fundamental drive to win. It makes you think, doesn't it?
It really does. How much of winning something like this is skill you already have versus just sheer stubborn will to endure? And it makes you wonder, what hidden abilities might you find in yourself if you were dropped into a challenge like that? Something to ponder. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the circles.